Hey everyone, welcome on into the Cleveland Browns Report. It's a mailbag from our live show, which airs every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to be a part of the next mailbag, tune in then and we'll answer your question. But remember really quickly to hit the share button down below. Send our content to a friend, a family member. Help us grow the channel and get more eyeballs here. First question coming in via Super Chat from Braden Klosterman. Would Deion let Shedeur go to Coldwater, Ohio? Deion did a bit of a press tour in New Orleans leading up to the Super Bowl, and he did not sound like someone who would get in the way of a team selecting his son. I wonder if he's kind of having a little bit of an internal conflict because he doesn't want to rob his son of the opportunity of being the second overall pick. But if he also feels like my son won't be successful there, then maybe he interjects, which he did say. It's not just people assuming on a podcast 3 months ago now at this point that he wants his son to go to a team that knows the quarterback position, right? That can help develop and things like that. So if he feels like the Browns' current coaching staff and front office can do that, then I think it's full blessing. But if he feels like that can't happen, then we know Deion has never been one to bite his tongue. Loverboy Charlie. It's awkward, but would you trade Myles Garrett for Baker Mayfield in the first rounder? If Baker Mayfield was drafted by the Cardinals and then ended up in Tampa, this would be a no-brainer. But the reality is, no. The Bucs say no. Like, they're not moving on from their, franchise quarterback after Tom Brady retires, and it looks like, Tampa kind of might be running out of gas here a little bit. No, they just made the postseason every year since, and they keep winning the NFC South. Their squeaky wheel is not the pass rusher position. They invest in that every single year with premium draft picks. So the Bucs say absolutely no. Max Nikolenko, accumulate many picks. These next two drafts, Browns need to draft as many best player available in order to build the best roster possible. Maybe an unpopular opinion, I would prefer one great player over two good players. Ask yourself this question. Would you rather have Denzel Ward or Greg Newsome and David Njoku? How about this? Would you rather have Jordan Akins and Denzel Ward or Greg Newsome and David Njoku? I'd go with the Ward and Jordan Akins because I value quality draft picks. And while quantity seems like a lot of fun because they all in your head are going to be good players, draft's a crapshoot, and I like quality over quantity. That's my dog. Should the Browns trade for DK Metcalf? I think DK Metcalf is going to get traded. He's kind of being phased out. Not phased out completely, but a reduction in his role with the rising of Jackson Smith and Jigba. Just look at his last 4 years, all right? And I want you guys to look at one number particularly. Targets. 141 3 years ago. Then down to 119. Then down to 108. Missed some time there. But does 2 games make up the difference of whatever the math is from 141 to 108? I think not. 32, 31, something like that. So I think the Seahawks are probably looking to get some picks and get his contract off their books since they're just not quite utilizing him as much as they could. Now, as for the Browns particularly here, no. I don't think they should be in a position to be trading away good draft picks and giving out big contracts to a wide receiver when they got to figure out the quarterback position first. Having said all that, we are talking about Andrew Berry, who loves trading for wide receivers. So I can't say there's a 0% chance, but I think it's a pretty low percent of chance of this happening. Moving on to our next question while you guys answer this question here. Joshua Durst, if Browns trade Myles and blow it up, does JOK get traded? No one is trading for JOK right now. They don't even know if the guy's going to play football ever again. Which I laughed that idea a few months ago, but misses the rest of the regular season. He put out, I don't think a weird thing, but he talked about how he doesn't want to watch the Super Bowl because he's not in it, and I think a lot of athletes low-key feel that way. But no, I think you're picking the wrong player. I think the question is, does Denzel Ward get traded? He said he doesn't know if he wants to be here if Myles is not here. That's the player you should be asking, Josh. Which, if that's the case, if you're blowing it up, just blow it all up. Don't half-ass a rebuild. Get all the picks. Mike Nintendo Master. Who can the Browns cut to make some cap space? Let's take a look here. I don't have all the numbers memorized off the top of my head. The short answer, though, off the top of my head is no one good. Like, there's no obvious cut candidate that can save you a lot of money. Here's what I mean by that. You could cut Jack Conklin. You get $4.6 million in cap savings and a $14.4 million dead cap hit. You probably want to see Juan Thornhill get cut. They cut him before June 1st. They have negative $2.2 million in cap savings. If they designate Juan Thornhill as a post-June 1 cut, they can get a whopping $3.4 million. There is no cut candidate to get $10 million. You can only use 2 players as a post-June 1 designation. Probably Juan Thornhill. I don't think they're going to want to cut Wyatt Teller, but there's $7 million in savings there. If Joel Petrino retires, if he retires, it's kind of like getting cut. The cap hit still stays. It's just, is he a pre-June 1 retirement or a post-June 1 retirement? So, yeah, Thornhill is like the only good option I have for you, my friend. Matthew Culpa. What could a Deebo Samuel or Garrett Wilson trade look like? I think for Garrett Wilson, it might be Garrett Wilson to the Browns along with the Jets' 7th? Yeah, 7th overall pick. And New York gets the 2nd. Cleveland moves back 5 spots. The Jets can take a quarterback, and the Browns can get a good player at 7 and get Garrett Wilson. The Jets probably want a little bit more in return, but I could see a first-round pick swap, which the Jets did when they acquired Aaron Rodgers. They just swapped first-round picks. Jets moved back. Packers moved up. Ricky Klein. Oh, what was the other name he said? Oh, Deebo. I skipped over Deebo. Sorry. Deebo's going to go for some day 3 picks. Ricky Klein. Can we get 3 good first-round picks for Garrett or more? Yes, depending on the team. If the Buffalo Bills call, yeah, maybe. But they're not the first-round picks you're thinking in your head. When you're picking from 28 to 32, you're basically getting round 2 talent with a 5th-year option. And the 5th-year option could be valuable. But no, not everyone in the draft that goes round 1 has a round 1 grade on them. Meaning, if they were picked up and dropped in another draft, they'd go round 1 again. No, just 32 guys have to be taken. So at the end of the day, people are going to look at 32 guys as round 1 talent, when in reality, there's probably like 20 round 1 talent in every single draft. This year, it might be a little bit lower, low-key. But you could get maybe 3 firsts from like a team like Buffalo. But ask yourself, would you rather have 3 very late first-round picks or deal with like the Atlanta Falcons and get 2 first-rounders that are likely going to be way earlier in the draft? Before we get on to the other questions on today's mailbag, quick shout-out to our friends over at Mando. Mando is a whole-body deodorant safe to use anywhere on your body. I walk to work most days, and it's about a 30-minute walk, which can cause me to work up a little bit of a sweat. But when I use Mando, I come into the office pit stain free and not smelling like a used gym towel. Mando is offering the Dawg Pound $5 off their starter pack at shopmando.com with promo code CHAT. It was created by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. It is clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, and free shipping. Luckily, I've got a discount code to help you guys out. New customers can get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code CHAT. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you use code CHAT at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. All of that information is in the comments and description of today's video. Dylan Sutcliffe. This is who we named the pick of cards after, by the way. All-time viewer of the channel. What's your confidence level going into the season? Low. Sorry. I would say if they could win 6 games, it'd feel pretty good. Because this idea that the Browns are a quarterback away, no. When you win 3 games, I don't think it's one position. I think people have kind of, and understandably so, put all the blame on Watson for the start of the year. And have had this amnesia come over them that the offense wasn't having a bazillion pre-snap penalties, dumb penalties. Offensive line was horrid, and it's getting older and more expensive. The defense took a major step back. They barely generated any takeaways. I don't think it's Command F and search and replace quarterback issue. I think this might be a 7-win team next year. Just chill. If Sanders is the pick, do you agree with me that he should sit at least a year? The NFL is ruining QBs by forcing too many to start before they are ready. I do see a lot of truth to this. Take Bryce Young, for example. Bad start, but sat a little bit this year and was really good towards the end of the 2024 season. I think Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders should both sit. Now, if they were to go in halfway through the year, so be it. Michael Penix, for example, if he was in this draft class, would be the no-doubted number 1 quarterback, ahead of Ward. Just try and remember what Penix looked like at Washington 2 years ago. Penix, Ward, Sanders. Penix, without a doubt, is the number 1 quarterback. Michael Penix sat on the bench until week 16. I think he played the last 3 games, 16, 17, 18. And in those games, there were some good moments, but he still looked like a rookie. Now you want Shedeur or Cam Ward to start week 1? No, thank you. I think they're going to add 2 veteran quarterbacks in free agency no matter what, and they should start the first week of the season, if not longer. Joshua Miller. Garrett trade with New England might get you 2 out of the top 4 prospects in the draft. That's how a rebuild or a reset is started. Why would the Patriots do this trade, though? Why are they going to trade the 4th overall pick, or pick where they can get a really good 23-year-old player for a 29-year-old player who isn't going to be the thing that gets them into the playoffs? Browns won 3 games this year, and Garrett was really good. I don't see why the Patriots move on from a premium pick for a 29-year-old player when they're not a defensive end away from making a big run. The Bills are, on the other hand, but not the Patriots. Kathy Sidlecki, when are we going to address the offensive line? Can we pull up the offensive line depth chart? Maybe? Yeah, let's just take a quick peek at it here for Kathy. Okay. So, we've got some free agents, and we'll talk about what I think is likely going to be your starting 5. So, hopefully DeJuan Jones is ready to roll, but the rehab for him, Wills, and Conklin did not go as hoped. So, I'm not going to make any big assumptions. They're not bringing back Wills. They're not bringing back Affetti. They might bring back James Hudson because he is shown to be not a quality backup, but on a cheap veteran deal, he could bring in some competition for a rookie they select and serve as a cheap insurance policy. I don't think Petonio and Teller are both returning. Either Petonio retires or they trade Wyatt Teller. They're just too expensive to be average, above average guards at this point. You can have highly paid guards as long as they are playing at a Pro Bowl level. I don't think either one was playing at a Pro Bowl level for the entire 2024 season. Posick is going to be here. I think Conklin's going to be here. My prediction is the week 1 offensive line will look like this. DeJuan Jones, if healthy, at left tackle. If it's not him, it's whoever they get in day 2 of the draft. Zach Zinter replacing either Petonio or Teller, and then Posick and Conklin stay put. So when are they going to address the offensive line? I don't think they're going to make any big moves in free agency. I think they're going to find a lineman in day 2 of the draft and promote Zach Zinter and hope after him being a 3rd-round pick last year, he's ready for a bigger role. Adam, you're on the show. Personally, I think we should take whatever QB is available to. Not saying Carter is bad, but we couldn't even win with Garrett because of QB. Adam, I would be in full agreement with you if the question was, who's better, Abdul Carter or Shedeur Sanders? But that's not the question. Everyone agrees Carter's a better prospect. So if we're all in agreement that he's a better prospect, then we're just taking a quarterback for the sake of taking a quarterback? If they were so close in your rankings, then Ty goes to the QB. Like, even if Carter was the second best prospect in the draft and Shedeur Sanders was the fifth or sixth best, all right, quarterback, bigger priority. I don't think Shedeur Sanders is even a top 15 or 20 prospects in this draft class. Just got to value the second overall pick more. Not just insert quarterback no matter what. What should the Lions have taken Kenny Pickett second overall? There are so many teams that passed down Pickett and no one batted an eye. Max, I feel like I'm getting worked up, which I kind of am, but the most frustrating part about this whole thing, Adam, is we have such a long ways to go to the draft, and it feels like everyone has picked a side, and we're going to keep arguing with one another, and no one's going to switch sides, and it's just going to lead to this fan base having a civil war. Nikolenko, we always say draft picks are crapshoots, so why not acquire more picks and also load up on UDF guys? They are pretty cheap. Cuts are free. Load up on undrafted free agents. Which, by the way, the Browns, I guess, have had some success with UDFAs. D'Anthony Bell, Ronnie Hickman, but whatever. The draft is a crapshoot, but when you're picking top 10, the odds of it being a bad pick really go downhill. The odds of it being a bad pick in the top 10 are very low. The odds go down of it being bad. I'm not interested in trading top 10 picks away for future later first and second picks just for the sake of getting more picks. I'm not shutting the door on this idea completely. If you feel like you can move back a few spots and still get the same guy you want there, then it's a no-brainer. But if it's, hey, we'd rather have pick 25 and 35 than pick 5, I'm going to disagree. I'd probably rather have the 5th overall pick. Dylan Sutcliffe picking a card. Which card do you want to go with, Reed?
Let's go with 4 of spades.
I'm thinking 6 of clubs.
Don't pick it.
So I'm going to go Queen of Diamonds. No, 2 of spades. Should I go 1 deeper? Would you say again? 4 of spades? Yeah, that's a tough beat right there. Thank you guys for watching today's mailbag. I always appreciate the end of the video crew. So if you're still watching, scroll on down. Drop an emoji, whatever the most recent emoji you used is, unless you're a little bit of a freak. And that way I can know who is watching all the way to the end.